Let me bring you up to date with the Browns. So here's a question, and it's not a trick question. Do the Browns have too many quarterbacks or not enough quarterbacks? Believe it or not, the answer is, as always, yes. At least according to the Browns. According to pretty much everybody else, the Browns have way too many quarterbacks. They've got a 40-year-old in Joe Flacco. They have Kenny Tiny Hands Pickett.
Tiny hands.
That's the Tiny Hands alarm.
Tiny hands.
They have 2 rookies. And they still have the creep under contract, even though he's obviously injured and can't go yet. That's a hell of a lot of quarterbacks. It's cliche, but it definitely applies here. If you have 5 QBs, that means you don't have 1 QB. So, naturally, they're like, let's add a 6th. Maybe if we have 6 QBs, we will have 1 QB. So let's throw Snoop Huntley on top of the pile. It really is 2 Browns to have too many QBs, but also at the same time, not actually have enough QBs because dudes keep getting banged up and they're sitting out practice. Tiny Hands, Dylan Gabriel, have got hamstring issues. Shedeur has a sore shoulder. And by the way, it's not at all suspect that Dylan Gabriel is at Browns camp trying to win a job and Alvin DeLauro is nowhere to be found.
Dude,
Just saying.
No.
Nobody has ever seen those two in the same room at the same time, and I've got a feeling that nobody ever will ever again, or ever in the first place. So once again, despite the fact that the Browns have all these quarterbacks, they still don't have enough arms to actually run a real practice, which is why they had to bring in yet another dude, hence Tyler Huntley. I'm just surprised they didn't sign Teddy Bridgewater. How did they let him go to Tampa? Where is Carson Wentz? What about Nick Foles? CJ Beathard? Why not throw any of them in or all of them into the mix? 5, 6, 10. You can never have too many quarterbacks, right? C-Town? Also, Cleveland, one more thing. Baker sends his regards. Baker says, what up? Actually, Baker doesn't. Baker doesn't say jack because he doesn't think about you guys or your pathetic franchise at all anymore. He has moved on to something much better. But if he did have something to say, I'm guessing it would not be hello. Back to the Browns. I would love to sit here and bang this desk for somebody other than the 40-year-old Joe Flacco to start. But how can I? None of the other dudes can consistently stay on the field. Case in point, they had to go sign Snoop Huntley. The job was right there for Tiny Hands to rip with his tiny hands. But because of his sore, tiny hamstring, he can't even stay on the field himself. He hasn't been on the field since like July 26th. Same thing for the Rooks. Clearly, they favor Dylan Gabriel. They drafted him a couple of rounds ahead of Shedeur. And Stefanski's been raving about this dude for the most part.
Thank you.
However, it does not seem likely that Gabriel is close to being on track to be ready to go for week 1, which kind of leaves the job to Flacco by default, which to me is pretty hilarious. Even though this team has like 100 quarterbacks, the job still looks like it's going to go to a 40-year-old by default. 100 quarterbacks, yet the guy is somehow running. The guy they're going to run out there is basically running unopposed. Hey, and by the way, that 40-year-old? That 40-year-old who's going to win by default, even his own kids think that he sucks. You got to see this wild clip from CBS Sports recently on the Flacco kids setting Pops on fire. Listen to the interviewer asking Flacco kids what they think of Pop.
Do you watch old videos of your dad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, are you ever impressed? Like, do you watch America's Game, like the old Super Bowls or anything, and say, wow, I can't believe my dad did that?
No.
Never? You've never seen anything impressive?
Nope.
Not like...
I'm not impressed. He stinks.
Well, what? Excuse me, hold on. What about
move
like
your
the
front
playoff
foot.
win in Denver when he was with the
keep your eye
Ravens
right on
and it
that
was
ball.
like minus
And don't
12
let the ball
degrees?
get back
Do you know
to
what I'm
Frank.
talking about? Big, huge throws.
Good. That's a
Yeah.
good swing.
Why is it not impressive? Just because he's your dad?
Hold it back. Instead of holding it back
Yeah,
like this,
'cause
hold
he's
it
a
more like
backup.
that. Go ahead. Move that way a little. Now
What
you
would your dad have to do to not stink?
Win another Super Bowl.
Win another Super Bowl. That's it. That's where the bar is.
Quote, not impressed. He stinks. He's a backup. Not just a backup, but a backup with the Browns. Well, there you have it. You heard it from his own kid. Even his kids say, man, the guy's a 40-year-old backup. And yet he's still the best option the Browns have right now by default. Now, all of that said, old man Flacco is not going to be the starter for the Browns preseason opener on Friday night because that would be, wait for it, guess who's starting Friday? Shedeur Sanders. That's right. Big news today in C-Town. Not a drill, not a joke, not a prank. This is real. Shedeur is going to start on Friday, and the reason for that is the same reason that Flacco is in the lead to land that actual starting job. It is by default. Shedeur apparently is healthy once again after sitting out with a sore shoulder. Tiny Hands and Tiny Gabriel are still banged up. Snoop Huntley only now is arriving. Flacco is 40. It makes no sense to give that dude a ton of preseason game one run. Therefore, by default, it is Shedeur. Even though he's gotten the fewest number of reps and was listed as number 4 on the depth chart in camp. But he's going to start. But he's number 4 by default. So, Shedeur, no pressure, my guy. I know that you feel like you play biggest on the biggest stage. Just know, the first preseason game is not the biggest stage, but it is a stage. And I'm sure the internet's going to be extremely measured and reasonable reacting to whatever happens on Friday. We see what happens when Caleb Williams misses a net. So don't sweat it, bro. Just go out there and see it for what it is. Just go out there and be #legendary, dude. You got this. Now would be a good time to bring that back before the first exhibition game. #legendary. You imagine what it's going to be like if he is #legendary, as legendary as you could be in an exhibition game. What if the guy is lights out, though? What if the guy is lights out, goes 7 for 8, 138 yards and a couple of touchdowns, throws a pretty ball, has a good scramble, and then is he QB4 at that point? Or does the hype take over and is he QB1? If this guy goes out and he lights it up, there's going to be a lot of hype. And Browns fans going to be all about it. All about it. And this is why you can make that decision. 1, we know exactly what we have in that 40-year-old man. 2, let's see, man. Maybe we catch lightning in a bottle. And then if it goes horribly, then we have that covered too. Then it justifies everything we already knew. There's a reason why he fell to the 5th round. There's a reason why he's not getting reps. There's a reason why he's 4th on the depth chart. We gave him a shot. We had to see. It went horribly. Or if they catch lightning in the bottle and this dude's lights out, then they have buzz, and then it's like, look the hell out. Let's go. Even though it's an exhibition game. I will say this. As far as the Browns go, would there be any reason that we'd have any reason to watch other than that guy starting? Sure, man. Throw him out there. Again, never mind that he's had fewer reps and he's number 4 right now on the depth chart. Sure. Why the hell not? You're the Browns. You suck. Throw him out there. You got my attention. I'm watching. I'm into it. Let's see it. And by the way, you're not going to risk injuring your actual starting quarterback who's 40 in a preseason game, who doesn't need the work. And you can't go with Tiny Hands because he's not right. And you can't go with Dylan Gabriel because he's not right. And you can't go with Snoop because he's late arriving. And if Shedeur's arm is better, you got to go with him. Why not? Let's do it.